Hi everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to make one of my favorite types of cookies to make at Christmas time, a Snickerdoodle. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And then the ingredients you're going to need to make Snickerdoodles is flour, sugar, cinnamon, baking soda, vanilla, cream of tartar, salt, 2 eggs, 1 cup or 2 sticks of butter, and then you're going to need a cup, a half cup, a quarter cup. You're going to need half of a teaspoon, a whole teaspoon, and a tablespoon. And then I have a spoon, a knife, a fork, and I have a 1-inch scoop, which is optional but really helpful if you have one. And then I have a bowl, I have a flat dish, and I have my mixer. You can also use a hand mixer, but I find this works much better and makes it a lot easier. So I'm going to stick this off to the side because we're not going to need this yet. And I'm going to start by putting my dry ingredients into my bowl. So first I need to add in 2 3/4 cups of flour. I'm going to grab my cup, and then I'm going to use a spoon to spoon in the flour into my 1 cup measuring cup, and then I'm going to use the knife to level it off. So I have my 2 cups in, and now I'm going to add the other 3/4 of a cup. So you can just use a 1/4 cup measuring cup. You could use that 3 times, or you can use a half cup once and then the 1/4 cup once, and that will also make 3/4 of a cup. So I've added all my flour, so we're just going to move this off to the side. And now I'm going to add in my cream of tartar, and you're going to do 2 teaspoons of cream of tartar. So we're going to add 2 teaspoons of cream of tartar. However, the opening is not very large, so instead of using a teaspoon, I'm going to use a half teaspoon, and I'll do 4 scoops of cream of tartar. Next, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And then I'm going to take my fork and I'm just going to gently mix together the flour, cream of tartar, and baking soda. And I'm going to just stick this bowl off to the side. Next, we're going to be creaming together our butter and our sugar. So I'm going to bring my mixer a little bit closer, and I'm going to take those 2 sticks of butter that are softened. To soften your butter, you can either leave it out on the counter for a couple hours till it's nice and soft, or I just pop mine in the microwave for about 30 seconds so it's nice and soft and it will cream together nicely. So I added in my butter, and now I'm going to add in 1½ cups of sugar. And now I'm going to stick my sugar off to the side, but don't put it away yet because we're going to need this in a little bit. And now I'm going to get my mixer ready to go, and I'm going to just turn on a low setting and cream together that butter and sugar. And then once your butter and your sugars all cream together, you're going to turn your mixer off, and now you're going to add in your vanilla and your eggs. So you're going to start by adding in your 2 eggs. You're just going to gently crack them and add them to the bowl. If you want to add the eggs to a separate bowl before adding them in to make sure you don't get any shells in, you can always go ahead and do that, or you can just plop them right into the bowl. So I added in my 2 eggs, and now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. gently mix all of that together. So now I have my vanilla and eggs mixed into my butter and my sugar, and now we're going to go ahead and add those dry ingredients in. So I'm going to use my half cup to do this. I'm going to turn my mixer on the lowest setting. You're going to carefully just add in a little bit at a time. Just be careful, take your time. If you add too much in at once, it's going to poof everywhere and make a giant mess. So just have your mixer on the lowest setting and just add about a half cup in at a time. And then once I've added all my dry ingredients, I'm going to turn it up just one more speed to make sure it gets all mixed in well together. And then once it's all mixed together, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put everything away except for my cinnamon and my sugar, and I'm going to get this bowl ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead, put everything away, and then we're going to go on to the next step. So I put all of my ingredients away except for my cinnamon and my sugar, and I also left my tablespoon out. And now we're going to be adding cinnamon and sugar to our smaller dish, and we're going to get ready to roll the dough in that cinnamon and sugar mixture so it gets that nice cinnamon flavor that a Snickerdoodle cookie has. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add 3 tablespoons of sugar, and 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. And then I'm just going to use my tablespoon and I'm going to mix that all together. And now I have my cinnamon and sugar mixture ready to go, and it smells amazing and reminds me of Christmas. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my bowl off of my mixer, but I'm also going to take off the blade that I used to mix so that I can get all of the dough into the bowl. And I'm going to go ahead and grab a spatula to help me make sure I get all of the dough off of the mixer and into the bowl. So now I have all of my dough in my bowl, and I'm just going to use my spatula and I'm going to scrape down the sides. And now is the fun part. We're going to get ready to roll our dough in our cinnamon sugar so that we can get our cookies ready to go. And as you can see, I have aligned my cookie sheets with some parchment paper so that the cookies do not stick when they bake. And it also makes for easier cleanup. So before you do this next step, you're going to want to wash your hands because you're going to be using your hands to get the dough ready to bake. So once your hands are washed, you're going to grab either your 1-inch scoop, or you can grab 2 spoons and you can use the spoons as well to scoop the dough. But if you have a scoop, I find this works much easier, and you're going to go ahead and you're going to scoop 1-inch balls of dough. And then you're going to plop it into your hand and you're going to roll it into a ball. And then you're going to plop it in the cinnamon sugar and you're going to roll it around in that cinnamon sugar and get it nice and coated. And then once it's covered in cinnamon sugar, you're going to put it on your parchment paper on your cookie sheet, and then you're going to do that to all of your balls of dough, and you're going to spread them out about 2 inches apart on your cookie sheet so that the cookies don't get stuck together when they bake. So again, you're just going to grab a 1-inch scoop, so it'll be about that size. You're going to roll it between your hands, and then you're going to roll it in that cinnamon sugar. And then put it on that cookie sheet. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this to more of my dough. And something my mom and I like to do at Christmas is we like to work together as a team, so one of us will be scooping and making the balls of dough, and the other one will be rolling it in the cinnamon sugar and moving it to the tray. And so then that way we have a team of us working on it, and it goes much quicker, which means you get to eat your cookies even sooner. So if you have a sibling or a parent or a grandparent and you're working together, you can take turns doing the two different jobs and get those cookies ready to go. And then when you have your cookies all on your sheet, you're going to pop these in the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes. Now, depending on your oven, it may take less time or it may take more. So I would start with 8 minutes, and then you're going to want to check on them and see if they're a nice golden brown and they flatten down into a cookie. And if they need a little more time, you can add another minute or two. So start with 8 minutes and then see how they look. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop these in the oven, and then I'm going to continue to roll my dough into my cinnamon sugar and get some more cookies ready to go on my next tray. These look and smell delicious, and so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to let them cool for a bit, and then once they're all cool, you can go ahead and you can try one and enjoy these delicious Snickerdoodles. I hope you have fun making this recipe, and I hope you enjoy trying them, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!